Thank you all for your appearance here today. It's good to see the entire Nuclear Weapons Council here, with one exception. The Undersecretary of Defense for Policy, Colin Call. Mr. Plumb, you are filling in for Mr. Call today. Do you know why he couldn't be here?
Senator, I don't have a specific, but I will say that on his behalf, I attend the Nuclear Weapons Council meetings. It's my responsibility as ASD Space Policy to Nuclear Weapons Policy, and so we've got a close working relationship, and I think from a panel standpoint, at least in my mind, Senator.
Sure, I'm glad you do that, and I'm sure you do. Was he in the Pentagon today working? Does anybody know? Admiral Grady, do you know if he was in the Pentagon working today?
I do not know, sir.
Is he in the Washington National Capital Region? Do you know that, Mr. Plumb?
Sir, I do not.
Mr. LaPlante, you're the chair of the council. Do you know where one of your council members is?
I don't.
This hearing?
Not right now or not today. Thank you.
I just want to point out this seems to be a part of a continued pattern on behalf of the chairman of the committee and the chairman apparently now of this subcommittee of protecting Colin Call at all costs from appearing in public before this committee, and I think it's a pattern that should stop. Admiral Richard, I know you've already touched briefly on this. I was gone. I just want to make sure I understand your testimony. You said on your unfunded priorities list that you need, quote, a low-yield, non-ballistic capability to deter and respond without visible generation. Let's put that in plain English. Low-yield, non-ballistic capability, that sounds a lot like a cruise missile. Without visible generation, that sounds like something that's not on an airplane. So to me, that sounds like a sea-launched cruise missile with nuclear capabilities. Is that right?
Senator, a sea-launched cruise missile would fit those requirements.
Okay. So is it your best military advice that we continue developing this nuclear-capable sea-launched cruise missile?
Senator, yes.
So you agree in that regard with Chairman Milley and General Walter's testimony?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Admiral Grady, you just heard Admiral Richard's testimony. Is it your best military advice that we continue with the sea-launched cruise missile with nuclear capabilities as well?
Senator, it is.
Okay. Admiral Richard, given that Russia's arsenal already exceeds ours and that China's arsenal is rapidly growing, if we keep our plans exactly the same as they are today, will the STRATCOM commander who comes after you in 8 years, 2030, have a force that is capable of deterring both Russia and China?
That is the number one question that we need to ask ourselves as this moves forward.
That's why I asked you.
Right. What we have is the absolute minimum. It depends on the trajectory where this goes, and we will not be able to do it with the same level of risk that we're carrying today if we don't ask that question.
Churchill said in his Iron Curtain speech that you should not engage in temptations of a trial of strength by merely exceeding your adversary by a small amount in military power. Do you agree with Churchill's recommendation that you don't encourage trials of strength?
I do, but I would also point out, look, it's not necessary to match your opponent weapon to weapon. We have a good strategy. You have to have sufficient capability to execute that strategy as the threat changes, and that's the question that Triad is the minimum. We're going to have to ask that question going in the future to execute the strategy.
How many road mobile and rail mobile missiles does Russia have?
Senator, I need to give you that answer in a classified forum.
Let me ask you this. Do they have road mobile and rail mobile missiles?
They have road mobile missiles, yes.
Okay. What about China?
China has a significant number of road mobile missiles.
Okay. How many road mobile and rail mobile missiles does the United States have?
We do not have any.
Oh, we don't have any at all?
No, sir.
So that's yet another capacity that we have refrained from developing over the years for justifiable reasons, I understand. My point is that we can't simply decide to disarm unilaterally on all these different domains like a sea-launched cruise missile or other non-strategic or tactical or battlefield weapons, however you want to phrase them. Admiral Richard, one final question. So I'm pleased to see that, once again, the forces in favor of modernizing our triad, which, as you say, is the absolute minimum, have succeeded against the efforts of the far left to defund them. I do worry about some potential single points of failure on these modernization programs, though, and the operational impacts that could occur from any delays. Could you share your thoughts on this risk and how to avoid it?
First, Senator, what I want to offer is 3 STRATCOM commanders in a row have come here and said we have no margin. We don't have any operational margin left. We use that operational margin to delay the recapitalization as long as we have. What is left inside your triad is its inherent ability to hedge between legs, inter-leg hedging. That capability is there for operational, technical, and geopolitical risks. It was not placed in our triad for programmatic convenience. I recommend that we maintain that hedge for the purpose it was designed for, and we start asking the question, what's it going to take to get this recapitalization done on time? Because I have very little ability operationally to mitigate delays.
All right. Thank you all for your very important work on the Nuclear Weapons Council.